Here are two ideas, both of which you would likely know. The first one is failing to plan is planning to fail. And the second is man plans and the gods laugh. While they feel contradictory, they are actually just interrelated, let's say, like the other side of that coin. It is a duo that asks us to get the balance just right in order to succeed. We need to plan, otherwise, how will we know where we are going? Yet, we need to be flexible and adapt quickly to the unexpected. Otherwise, how will we deal with the unknown? Each one of this duo sounds like work in and of itself, but not too tricky, right? But doing them both and keeping them in balance can feel daunting. My name is Mozella Perry Ademiluyi, and here is this week's Mountain Newsletter. Each week, I give you ways to have what you want, make the difference you came here to make, and love the life you live. Today's newsletter, the title is Failing to Plan is Planning to Fail versus Man Plans and the Gods Laugh. I'd like to introduce you to Denkium. It is another of the Adinkra symbol guides. Adinkra symbols are visual representations of the cultural lessons held closely by the Akan people of Ghana and the Ivory Coast as well. Now, these symbols are simple yet powerful ways to communicate and convey important messages held deeply by their cultures. Messages that support the people to live better, fuller, and wiser lives. Denkium is represented by the crocodile. Ancient and relatively unchanged for millions of years, the crocodile, not exactly my favorite animal, is perfectly adapted to the environments in which it operates. Now, this creature embodies both meticulous planning and lightning-fast reaction. It lies submerged, often for extended periods, patiently observing its surroundings. Very sneaky they look. And this stillness, this apparent inaction is a form of their planning. The crocodile is intimately aware of its entire environment, the likely paths of its prey, the currents of the water, and the feel of the riverbed. It has a mental map, a strategy honed by instinct and experience. It knows where the potential opportunities are likely to arise. You don't want to get caught up in that, that's for sure. Now, let's move on to our title and really unpack that first part. Failing to plan is planning to fail. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a fundamental truth that echoes across countless aspects of life, from the mundane to the monumental. Now, imagine trying to climb a mountain without a plan, without a map, and your trusted compass. You strike out, and yes, you will make some progress. You will go places. But without knowing the direction you want to go and the landmarks that you should see along your way, how will you know that you are heading in the right direction? How will you know that you are on track for your next campsite? You don't want to get caught out in the open on the side of a mountain at night. How will you know that you are not heading towards a dead end, an insurmountable wall, or a sheer drop that can't be passed? You will go places, but they may not be the places that you want to go. Without a plan, we waste resources. We waste our time, energy, and money on tasks that don't align with our objectives. We feel increased stress and anxiety because a lack of planning often leads to a feeling of being overwhelmed and out of control. Doesn't feel good. Decisions are made hastily under pressure, leading to mistakes and regrets, breeding stress and anxiety, impacting our well-being. We miss opportunities when we don't have a clear vision of where we want to go. We might be too focused on the immediate chaos to see the bigger picture. And we reduce our efficiency and productivity, increasing our risk of failure. A well thought out plan allows us to prioritize tasks, allocate resources effectively, and streamline our efforts. We are essentially navigating life without our map and compass, making it far more likely to get lost or stumble into obstacles we could have anticipated or avoided. So now let's leave climbing mountains out of it for just a moment. Now, think about even a simple trip. If you don't plan your route, book accommodation, or pack essentials, your journey is likely to be fraught with unnecessary difficulties and potential disasters. Now, scale that up to a major life goal, a business venture, or a complex project. The lack of planning becomes exponentially more detrimental. But then we encounter the second part of our title, the seemingly contradictory wisdom of man plans and the gods laugh. This acknowledges a fundamental truth about life. No matter how meticulously we plan, the unexpected will inevitably happen. Life is inherently unpredictable. The crocodile, in its patient ambush, can plan the perfect hiding spot, anticipate the movement of prey, and prepare its powerful strike. But it cannot control whether prey will actually come its way. The size of the prey that comes, or whether or not an unexpected disturbance will scare it off, meaning the prey, before the crocodile has the chance to strike. So let's look a little deeper into the laughter of the gods. Number one, over-reliance on planning can create an illusion of control, making us rigid and resistant to change. When our carefully laid plans are disrupted, we may feel frustrated, angry, or even paralyzed. Number two, sometimes the most wonderful things in life happen unexpectedly. Three, external factors, unforeseen events, and the actions of others can all derail even the most robust plans. A punchline for those all-knowing beings. And four, the pursuit of perfect planning can sometimes lead to what they call analysis paralysis. I'm guilty of that too. So analysis paralysis is where we spend so much time planning and preparing that we never actually take action. Fear of the unknown can keep us stuck in a cycle of endless preparation, on and on. Remember our newsletter titled Transforming Fear into Fuel? If you missed it, head to the newsletter archive and give it a listen. It's got some gems in it for this particular problem. So has the newsletter, this is the one I was initially thinking about, Breaking the Perfectionist Trap. That one also talks about analysis paralysis. We just don't get it done. So number 5, life is a dynamic and ever-changing landscape. Plans that are too rigid will eventually break under pressure. So how do we navigate this apparent paradox? How do we honor the wisdom of both failing to plan is planning to fail, and man plans and the gods laugh? The key lies in developing a strategic response to the unexpected. This is where Denkiem's wisdom truly shines. While it plans its ambush, it remains constantly aware of its surroundings, ready to react instantly to any opportunity or threat that arises. It doesn't become so fixated on its initial plan that it misses a chance or becomes vulnerable to danger. Ultimately, the key lies in finding the right balance between proactive planning and agile responsiveness. Doesn't that sound like good leaders? Now, it's not about choosing one over the other, but rather recognizing their interconnectedness. We should plan with flexibility in mind. Our plans shouldn't be rigid blueprints etched in stone, but rather flexible frameworks that provide direction while allowing for adjustments. Build in contingency plans and buffer times. Now, we should stay aware and observant. Like the watchful crocodile, we need to be keenly aware of our environment, both internally and externally. This allows us to anticipate potential challenges and identify emerging opportunities. We should concentrate on and develop our problem solving skills. All right, now this involves critical thinking, creativity, and resourcefulness. And we need to practice adaptability and resilience. And we're talking here about the ability to bounce back from setbacks and adjust to new circumstances, which is extremely crucial. Learning from our experiences and maintaining a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity, is a must. Remember that every unexpected event, whether positive or negative, offers a valuable learning opportunity. And by reflecting on these experiences, we can refine our plans, improve our responsiveness, and become more resilient in the future. Our plans provide the foundation, the direction, and the framework of our actions. But our ability to adapt, to learn, and to respond effectively to the unexpected is what allows us to navigate the inevitable twists and turns of life and ultimately achieve our goals. So as you navigate your own mountains and valleys, remember the lesson of the Denkium. That's a smart crocodile. And really some really great analogies between the two. Develop your strategic responsiveness, and you'll find yourself not only surviving the unexpected, but also thriving in the face of it. And above all else, trust in yourself. Trust your instincts and rely on your inner strength and power. This leads me to a prayer that some of you might know, the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And put differently, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And that's a direct quote from Maya Angelou.